Bonjour, Ginawa, Anishinaabe, Duk. Welcome back to another Ojibwe language table, Red Lake Ojibwe language table notes from August 20th, 2024. So on that day, we reviewed notes from 8/13/24, which was the previous week. I don't know what week we are on at our language table. I think we started back in July, but all of those videos are on previous recordings. If you're on Facebook, you can go to the Red Lake Ojibwe language table Facebook page and find those videos there. If not, you can go to West Jordan on YouTube, and then you'll find those language videos posted there. So maybe we're gonna try to work on getting a Red Lake language table Facebook page, possibly, if that's possible for us to do. And then that way you'll have all these videos stored in there so you can go back and see the notes. So starting off, we had VTIs, verb transitive inanimate, which means a verb that has an animate subject and an inanimate object. All right. So VTI independent form, we're going into the positive verb statements ending with un. Un. So we have words in the Ojibwe language that end with un, and we're going to go to that. There's a rule here. On the root word changes to on for all positive independents. All right. So you're going to see examples of that as we move forward and get into our conjugations. So if you look here, we have conjugation list, and we might have done that in the previous video. I'm not too sure, but we have these numbers on the side: 1s, 2s, 3s, 1p, 1p, 2p, and 3p. Don't let that alarm you. Those are just ways that we can conjugate, and it talks about who we're talking about. So one is first person, second is second person, third is third person. So first person would be me, second person would be you, and third person is him or her. And they're all singular, so they're going to be just talking about me by myself, you by yourself, um, he or she by his or herself. And then we get into 1P where we have first person plural, which is talking about we. We have 1P, which is another form of we. And then we have 2P, which means you plural, which is you all, more than one. And then 3 plural they. All right. So we're going to go through our word that ends in un. We have the word wobbin done. And remember, if it ends in un, because this is positive verb statement, we're gonna change the end of the word to on. All right, and we're gonna use our markers. I should have color coded these, but ne is talking about me, ge is you, and o is him or her. All right, so we're gonna see the pattern here in just a little bit. Um, we excluding the person we're talking to, ne and min, amin, ge and amin for 1P, and then we have ge awa is the pattern for that. And then when we talk about they, o awa. All right. So our word is wabin done. To see it. I want to say I see it. We're going to say niwabandan. I see it. Niwabandan. 2S. Giwabandan. You see it. Giwabandan. Make this just a little bit bigger for everybody. 3S. Third person singular, excuse me. Owabandan. She or he sees it. Remember, we have to have a animate subject and an inanimate object. So here's your animate subject, she or he. And what are they doing? They're seeing an inanimate object, it. All right. It's not saying she or he sees him or her. We didn't get to that part yet. But here we go. Owabandan. She or he sees it. First person, we, excluding the person we're talking to. Newabandamin. We, excluding exclusive, see it. Newabandamin. 1P. Gewabandamin. We, including the one we're talking to, see it. Gewabendamen. 2P, you all. Gewabenda nawa. Use or y'all see it. Gewabenda nawa. And they, 3P, she or he plural. Owabenda nawa. They see it. Owabenda nawa. All right. Moving forward, we're gonna put these. I feel like I'm missing something here, but it goes right into negative verb statements ending with un. I thought we had something positive there, but maybe not. Let's just go right down the list. All right. Gawin plus your personal prefix, which is either going to be ni, get, or o, and then whatever the ending is, plus your verb. You're going to minus the n and then add seen. I know that seems like a lot, but you're going to see it in our examples coming up. So in order to negate our first one here, gawin. So the word we're working with is be doing. All right. This is the verb statement that ends with un, and it's be doing. And you're gonna notice this n drops off, and we're gonna add seen to all of the words all the way down. And then I'll show you down here. So our first one, negative 1s, not doing something to it. All right. Gawin ni bidusin. I'm not bringing it. Gawin ni bidusin. Okay, so be doing means to bring it. To say I'm not bringing it, you're going to use your gawin pattern. Personal prefix ne. Your verb be doing. Drop the n and add seen. Gawin ni bidusin. You are not bringing it. Gawin gibidusin. You're not bringing it. Gawin gibidusin. Negative 3s. Gawin obidusin. Gawin obidusin. She isn't bringing it. Gawin obidusin. We, excluding the person we're talking to, are not bringing it. Gawin ni bidusimin. We, exclusive, aren't bringing it. Gawin ni bidusimin. So we have the pattern gawin. We have our personal prefix identifying who, ni. Verb is in there, bidu. And bidun, the n dropped and we added seen. But on this one, the n also drops and we're going to add min. All right. Weird rule. I didn't add it up here, but that's the rule. And once you get comfortable with the Ojibwe language, this is when you don't even have to think about it. You just spit it out. Gawin ni bidusimin. We, exclusive, aren't bringing it. Inclusive, meaning we're talking to the person, we're including that person in the conversation. Gawin gibidusimin. We, including the person we're talking to, aren't bringing it. Gawin gibidusimin. 2P, you all ain't bringing it. Yous ain't bringing it. Yous aren't bringing it. Gawin gibidusi nawa. Gawin gibidusi nawa. Yous aren't bringing it. Gawin gibidusi nawa. And the last example here, we have 3P, they aren't. Negative 3P, they are not bringing it. Gawin obidusi nawa. Gawin obidusi nawa. They are not bringing it. All right, carrying on down we go. We have our word ending in un, which is being attuned. Being attuned means that that it's the cleaning is happening. Sure, he is cleaning it, or it just means cleaning. All right, and when we put it in independent form, and in negative form, we're gonna have gawin on the front, our personal prefix ni, get, or o, plus our verb, which is being attuned. We drop the n and add seen for these first three. And then we drop the n and drop the N twice on here. Instead of being a tune, it becomes being a two scene. But then because of scene, we're just gonna add min. Drop the N and add min. So you'll hear it. I know I'm kind of confusing everybody. I hope I'm not, but here we go. Negative one S. I am not cleaning it. Going to be being a two scene. I'm not cleaning it. Going to be in a two scene. Remember, you have to have the subject and the inanimate object. Animate subject, inanimate object. VTI. Negative 2S. You aren't doing something by yourself. Gawin gibin itusin. You are not cleaning it. Gawin gibin itusin. Negative 3S. She or he. Gawin obin itusin. She or he isn't cleaning it. Gawin obin itusin. Negative 1P. We exclusive. Excluding the person we're talking to. Gawin ibin itusimin. We, excluding the person we're talking to, aren't cleaning it. Gawin ibin itusimin. Negative 21P. We, including or inclusive. Gawin gibin itusimin. We, inclusive, aren't cleaning it. Gawin gibin itusimin. Negative 2P. You all aren't. Gawin gibin natusinawa. Yous aren't cleaning it. Gawin gibin natusinawa. And our final one example here is negative 3P, talking about they aren't. Gawin o nawa. They aren't cleaning it. Gawin o nawa. Moving on to our negative statement, VTI, independent negative verb statement ending with un. We had the word bisin done. All right, so this one has a different rule, but nonetheless all the same. Gawin plus your personal prefix ne, ge, or o, plus your verb bisin done. Nothing drops off on this one, and we just add zine to the end of it. Or if we get down to the we's, we're gonna drop the n and add min. All right, and then we're gonna add awa for 2 plural and 3 plural. All right, so here we go. Negative 1S. I am not. Gawin bisindanzin. I'm not listening to it. I is the subject, the animate. It is the inanimate object. We didn't specify it. It's just inanimate. Gawin bisindanzin. And this NZ pattern here, it's kind of like a nasally sound. Gawin bisindanzin. I'm trying not to stress that S too much, but more that Z. Gawin bisindanzin. All right. You'll hear it in examples coming up. Negative 2S. You are not doing something. Gawin bisindanzin. You're not listening to it. Gawin bisindanzin. She or he, negative 3S, she or he isn't. So we have Gawin o bisindanzin. She or he isn't listening to it. Gawin o bisindanzin. Negative 1P, we, excluding the person we're talking to, Gawin o bisindanzimin. We, exclusive, aren't listening to it. Gawin o bisindanzimin. Negative 21P, we, inclusive, including the person we're talking to, Gawin gibisindanzimin. We, inclusive, aren't listening to it. Gawin gibisindanzimin. Negative 2P, yous aren't. You all aren't. Gawin gibisindanzinawa. Yous aren't listening to it. Gawin gibisindanzinawa. And then 3P, Gawin o bisindanzinawa. They aren't listening to it. Gawin o bisindanzinawa. All right, let's see what our next one is. Waban done. Here's our waban done negative pattern. Again, we have a verb ending in un, which is wabendun, we're going to use the pattern gawin plus personal prefix ni, git, or o plus our verb plus zine. All right. I forgot to add. I wonder if I can add. Here we go. Just make an edit right here, real quick. Wabendun means to see it, so I forgot to add see. So here we go. -1. I don't see it. Gawin ni wabendun zine. I don't see it. Gawin ni wabendun zine. -2s. You don't see it. Gawin gewabendun zine. You don't see it. Gawin gewabendun zine. -3s. She or he doesn't. Gawin o wabendun zine. She or he doesn't see it. Gawin o wabendun zine. -1p. -1p. Gawin o wabendun zimen. We, excluding the person we're talking to, don't see it. Gawin o wabendun zimen. -2 1p. We inclusive. Gawin gewabendun zimen. We inclusive don't see it. Gawin gewabendun zimen. -2p. Yous don't. Gawin gewabendun zinawa. Yous don't see it. You all. Gawin gewabendun zinawa. 3p. -3p. They don't do whatever the verb says. Gawin o wabendun zinawa. They don't see it. Gawin o wabendun zinawa. So these are just 7 ways that we can conjugate a verb using first person singular, second person singular, third person singular, first person plural, we exclusive, 2 1p, second and first person inclusive, so we're including everybody, 2p, which is you plural, which is you all, and then 3, if you remember, is she or he or him or her, and then more than one, it's either they or them. All right. And so those are the positives. We put a negative on the front. We know -1s is a negative I don't statement. I can't statement. Okay. Excuse me. So practice those. We can use any words. Find some verbs in the Ojibwe People's Dictionary and look for words that end in un, words that end in on, verbs that end in on. Here's one that ends in un, and we gave those examples. And kind of play around. These are the 7 ways that you can conjugate. There's obviously more ways you can do it, but for now, we're going to use those 7, right? So, again, once again, thank you for tuning in. Miigwech gi piyajayag, miigwech gi bizin dameg. Thank you all for listening. Miigwech gi kanawaban dameg. Thank you all for watching, tuning in here to our Red Lake Ojibwe table notes from August 20, 2024. Ayang wamiziyok kakananishinabe do gigawabamininim. Next time. I will see you all next time. Right. Bali mapi.